Hi everybody, welcome back to another Tech Tip Tuesday. I'm Chelsea from Throttle Thrasher's Garage, and today I'm going to be teaching you how to do a compression test and why it is important. Now before we get into it, it's important to talk about the tool that makes this possible. Yes, you guessed it, it is called a compression tester. Now by using this, we are able to find the cylinder pressure, which will help us determine the health and integrity of our engine. First step to finding your compression is the removal of your spark plugs. Now obviously every single engine is different, but for demonstration purposes, I will be using my RB25. Now, to remove the spark plugs on my RB25, I must remove the coil cover, the coil packs, and then the spark plugs. I've already removed all the bolts from my coil cover, so we're going to pull that off now and take a look. So I am now showing you that my coil packs are already removed, and my spark plug is just gently sitting there as I've already pre-removed it. Now typically, when doing a compression test, it is important to remove all your spark plugs so there is limited resistance on the engine when you go to turn it over. On this particular engine, I will be disconnecting my crank angle sensor to ensure that my injectors aren't firing, and I will also have no spark. You do have options when it comes to removing fuel during your compression test. You can A, remove your fuel pump fuse, or B, disconnect your injectors. It is really important to ensure that you do not have fuel during this compression test, as it can affect your numbers. So now that our coil cover is removed, our coil packs are removed, and our spark plugs are removed, we are now going to install the compression tester. Installing the compression tester is relatively straightforward. All we are going to do is screw the end into the spark plug socket. So now that the compression tester is installed, I'm going to go sit in the driver's seat and crank it over. Another important point is to have your foot on the gas pedal floored. We typically want to have your throttle body open to make sure that there is as much air passage as possible. Obviously, everyone is going to have a different way of doing this. For me, I have always cranked it over 4 revolutions. Again, that may work for you, or you may have a different opinion on what you'd like to do, but the whole purpose of a compression test is just to see if there's any variation between cylinders. So as you can just see, I got 140 on my first cylinder. I did test this car last week and it was 140 across all 6, which is really great to see. Obviously we are looking for that even number across all 6, or how many cylinders you do have. Typically in a hot compression test, you are going to see a higher number, but 140 for this car on a cold compression test is quite accurate. Now, for example, let's say that cylinder number 3 had a 10 to 15 psi difference among the other 5. That is a pretty good telltale that there is some premature wear going on, or possibly a valve issue in that particular cylinder. Now, let's say that if all across the board your cylinders were low compression compared to what a manufacturer spec would be, it's pretty safe to assume that your motor is probably just tired. So now that you've seen what a cold compression test looks like, and now that you know how to do it, there is a more accurate way to test the health of your motor, which is to do a leak down test. This is something, if requested enough, we can absolutely do a Tech Tip Tuesday on, but for now, I think this is probably one of the best and most affordable ways to check the compression and the health of your engine. Alright everybody, that is it for my Tech Tip Tuesday. I hope you learned something today. If there is anything you are looking to learn more about, please drop a comment below. Thank you for watching, and we will see you guys on the next one.